What up, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we have a what's for dinner lineup for you. I love filming these videos, so I hope you guys like it too, because I am constantly on the hunt for dinner inspiration. It's always hard to mix up when you're meal planning the different recipes that you're gonna serve your family. And I'm not gonna lie, we have like tried and true favorites that we turn to, but overall, I love cooking. I love trying new things. So I really try to challenge myself on finding different recipes that we haven't made a million times in the past. And I sure did it in today's video. We have 5 different recipes to share with you. Pretty quick weeknight dinners. None of them took a lot of effort from me. Most of them I think were around 30-minute meals. I have a beef enchilada bake that we make. It's very simple and so good. Like, it shouldn't be as good as it is because of how simple it is. Then I make a garlic parmesan chicken, which has been on my want to make list forever because I love the garlic parmesan boneless chicken wings. And I just love that sauce so much. And I've purchased the bottled sauce in the past, but there's something about making something homemade with like real butter and real garlic. It turns out so good. Then I made a meatball stroganoff that was a one-pot wonder and also about a 30-minute meal. Crock-pot meal coming at ya. We have a Mississippi meatloaf. Excuse me, what? And then also some Italian sloppy joes. Boom. Those are all of the things that we're going to be making today. If you're new here, hi, how are you? How's the family? Thanks so much for clicking on that thumbnail and giving me a chance. Over here, I do a lot of haul videos usually. You'll see Costco, Trader Joe's, Sam's Club, and then I also do videos like this where I share some meal inspiration. So if you end up enjoying this vibe while you're here, please feel free to check out the rest of my channel for my other what's for dinners, meal prep videos, and haul videos. And I'd love it if you'd consider subscribing before you leave. It means the absolute world to me. Speaking of subscribing before you leave, I'm just gonna take the floor for a moment. I'm gonna take up a little bit extra of your time today, and I just wanna thank everyone for being here. I know that it doesn't seem like much when you turn to YouTube for some entertainment, but you guys, the way you show up, you guys impact my life when you watch my channel. And I know that sounds dramatic, but if you've been here before, you know that I am dramatic. But it comes from a genuine place of absolute gratitude towards you guys for tuning into my channel. I know some of you came over from Mandy in the Making or Jessica O'Donoghue or Jessica Braun. Some of you found me through YouTube. Whatever path brought you to me, you've stayed here, you've said the kindest things in comments. The comments that I receive are just unbelievable. It renews my faith in humanity. So I just needed to take a moment to thank you so much for not only being here, but just being so wonderful and just being so kind. If you think that you don't make a difference, you absolutely do. All right, so now that I've taken up your time with my sap fest, let's go ahead and get into the video. Okay, first up, we have Bison enchiladas. I think I kept saying beef at the beginning of this. This definitely can be made with beef, but we loved the flavor of the bison here. I started in a medium skillet, sauteing onion, bell pepper, and green chilies in some avocado oil. I let that cook for a couple minutes together before adding in the bison and seasonings. Then I just browned that and let it sit on low while I shredded up some cheese for myself. We had made these a couple weeks ago for the first time, and I had used a combination of Colby Jack and pepper jack cheese in it. I had gotten blocks of cheese and grated that using a grater my dad had got me that I'm obsessed with. When I made it this time, I forgot to get more pepper jack, and I definitely noticed the difference. So if you're adding this to the meal plan, I have the recipe down below, and I have the pepper jack listed because I think that's the way to go. I will also have all of the tools that I use in this video linked down below as well. Our next step is just assembling the enchiladas. I know this is not the traditional way to make them, but I did take some liberties in the interest of time. I first just poured a little bit of the enchilada sauce on the bottom of a 9x13 baking dish to just make sure that it was covered, and preheated my oven to 375 degrees. Then I laid down a flour tortilla, and then I put down about 1/3 cup of the bison mixture in the center of the tortilla, and then I sprinkled some of each of the cheeses on there. I rolled these up nice and tight and put them in the baking dish. I made sure to save myself some of that cheese because it'll get sprinkled over the entire dish in the last step. I poured the rest of the enchilada sauce all over this, and I ended up taking a fork to kind of move the enchiladas a little bit to get that sauce seeping down in between them. I then sprinkled that reserved cheese that I had over all of it. And I ended up seasoning the top of everything with a little bit more taco seasoning, but that's not 100% necessary. I baked that for about 15 minutes, just to the point where the cheese was bubbling. We didn't get a taste test live of this one, but John will share some feedback during a taste test on the next meal. Next up, we have garlic Parmesan chicken. I decided to marinate my chicken before making this one, but if you don't have time to do so, you can just use the chicken thighs straight from the store as they are. But for my marinade, I combined some avocado oil, better than bouillon Italian herb base, the zest and juice of half a lemon, and some minced garlic. I combined this all right in a storage container and added the chicken in there. You could also just use a Ziploc bag. I sprinkled it with salt, pepper, and Italian seasoning and just made sure the chicken was covered with the marinade, and I let that marinate for about 6 hours. Once it had marinated, I preheated my oven to 375 degrees and placed a wire rack on a deep baking sheet. I then took a plate and whisked together some flour, Italian seasoning, salt, pepper, and Parmesan cheese. I dipped each of the chicken thighs in the flour mixture, just making sure it was well coated, shaking off any extra. And I plopped those birds onto the wire rack and baked it for 15 minutes. I then turned each of them over with tongs and baked for an additional 15 minutes. While the chicken was in the tanning bed, I started the sauce by sauteing some garlic in melted butter on medium-high heat for a couple minutes until the garlic was really fragrant. I then lowered the heat to medium and stirred in the heavy cream and Parmesan cheese. I let this simmer while the chicken finished up. Once the chicken was at temperature, I added it to the sauce and let it simmer all together for a few minutes before serving it over al dente rotini. We ended up doing a taste test on this one, so let's hear what John had to say about it. Mr. Shuffle's coming in. Okay, so John made this look awful. First of all, John, the presentation on the plate.
They can't see the plate.
0 out of 10. I know, but still, like, that's embarrassing. Show it now, because now they want to know. Look at what he made this. I had this beautiful plate of chicken, and he just destroyed it. Anyways, John, what you're eating right now is garlic Parmesan chicken, okay?
Not huge garlic Parmesan.
Yeah, he's not, like, the biggest on even, like, Alfredo is not his top. He's a marinara man.
I'm a marinara guy.
He's a marinara man. It makes more sense to say marinara man. Keep up, John.
Marinara man?
Yeah, marinara guy sounds stupid. Okay,
wow.
But marinara man, that sounds like an official title.
Okay.
Anyways, garlic Parmesan chicken. Our kids are doing something on the monitor, partying. Everything. Shuffles is coming back. There you go.
Where's the Shuffles now?
He doesn't pick up his feet when he wants. Okay.
Only with these slippers.
I do the same thing though. I catch myself all the time. So I'm Mrs. Shuffles, you're Mr. Shuffles. Moving on. He has a rotini with it and garlic Parmesan chicken, and it's boneless chicken thighs.
Chicken thigh. Which
I prefer chicken thigh. He prefers a chicken breast. But we're just not about John tonight. We're doing Kate's favorites.
Hey.
Okay, so
let's try the chicken first.
It's
very hot. You making fun of me?
No, not at all, sir. I would never.
The chicken is very tender.
Yeah. That's what chicken thighs are like. That's why I like chicken thighs.
It's so like just
like if there was bone, then it would be falling off the bone, you know?
If there was bone, but this is boneless, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the thing. I don't like garlic Parmesan, but I really like that.
It's so funny because Rosie, I don't know if you heard her, but my friend Rosie was visiting everybody. And she just had a flight, so I like made dinner before she left. And she seriously like stopped eating and was like, yeah, that needs to be shared with people. She's like, that was ridiculous.
I'm not a garlic Parmesan fan. Like, I like chicken parm with marinara.
Right.
But the garlic white sauce?
Yeah.
Whatever you just did.
Well, you know what I think, the reason why I think you like it is because it's on the zestier side.
Whatever she did, people.
Whatever she did, people. I use this sofrito blend from Trader Joe's. If you want to like screenshot right now the different elements, it's got crispy onion, sun-dried tomatoes, sea salt, garlic, red pepper, parsley, rosemary, and sage. And I think because it's got kind of like a zesty Italian blend, I think that's what you like about it.
That is so good.
Yeah. And you wanted some airtime to talk about the beef enchilada dish as well?
Listen.
Actually, this time it was ground bison. Remember how you kept saying, like, there's something about this that's different? I did a different enchilada sauce, and I did ground bison instead of ground beef. So I wonder if the bison also had more flavor.
They were both really good.
Right.
But the second one I feel like had packed more of like a flavor punch.
Yeah, I think it was the sauce. I think that brand sauce is better than Old El Paso.
Yeah, so
sorry, Old El Paso. Sorry about it, man.
You need to make that enchiladas. If you shared that.
Yeah, that's going to be in this video.
Okay, they get to see that?
Yeah.
Listen.
Recipe will be down below, everybody.
Go down below. Follow the recipe to a T.
To a T.
Don't deviate because it is amazing.
For corporate, what was your rating on this dish right here, sir?
That's like a 9.
A 9 out of 10.
Yeah, that's really like.
Definitely recommend.
I'm just shocked right now.
Yeah.
I'm just not a garlic parmesan guy.
Yeah.
But I could eat that all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, anything you make, I could eat all the time. Let's be honest.
You do eat anything I make all the time. You do eat anything I make all the time. I don't know why that was a struggle.
Yeah, we got there. You know what? Sorry, I'm gonna bump that down just a half a point because the enchiladas I'm gonna bump up.
Oh, okay. So the enchiladas were a 9.
Enchiladas are a 9, yeah.
Okay, and then this is an 8.5.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for your feedback. We will be sending it to corporate.
Thank you.
Next up, we have meatball stroganoff. This was a one-pot wonder, minimal dishes, which is my favorite type of meal. In a medium pot, I melted butter and added some onion and garlic. I sauteed those together for about 2 minutes and then quickly whisked in some flour. I then added beef broth, Worcestershire, seasonings, salt, and pepper. I stirred it all together until it was well combined and starting to thicken. I then added frozen meatballs straight from the freezer and let those simmer for about 10 minutes in the sauce. Next, I brought in some egg noodles to the party, covered those with liquid as much as possible in the pot, covered the pot and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. I made sure to stir every couple minutes to make sure all of the egg noodles were getting enough liquid. And then I stirred in sour cream on the last step, keeping it on low-medium heat for about 5 minutes before serving to let all of those flavors come together. Let's check in with John to see what his thoughts were on the meatball stroganoff. Sir, what we have here, go ahead and show your friends. Put it next to your face, your beautiful face. We have a meatball stroganoff. This was a one-pot wonder, Jonathan.
One-pot wonder?
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And it took about 30 minutes.
30-minute one-pot wonder.
That sounded awful.
Yeah.
Have you been away from Boston a little too long?
It smells amazing.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
Could this be? You know what? This could be like a diffuser.
You are ridiculous. People may come for me because this isn't a true stroganoff, and I'm going to tell you why.
Why?
You're supposed to put mushrooms in stroganoff. I know that you would have gone for it had I put them in there because you're willing, but I don't even keep them in the house anymore. And I wasn't about to go to the store for the one ingredient that may have ruined your life. So,
I mean, I think that's a bit dramatic.
Oh, because we keep it low on the dramatic meter over here. Right?
I mean, it wouldn't have ended my life.
Okay, well, that's true. It's a stroganoff sans mushroom. But go ahead, give it a try, sir. We're going to go just for the nudes.
And you've tried this.
Yep, but I'm not going to influence your decision one way or another. If this isn't a John dish, I don't know what is.
This is a problem.
You want to know why it's a problem? Let me tell you, what do you think the #1 ingredient in this is?
Butter.
Yes, it's an entire stick of butter.
I can taste it.
Yeah? Is it like comfort food?
Comfort to the max.
Yeah?
This is so good.
We need to add like green to it. Like we need like some broccoli on the side or something. I feel like broccoli would be good. I just was too lazy to also add broccoli.
Do I have to stop? Do I have to talk about it?
Yeah, you have to talk about it. So when we put it down, it won't go anywhere. There's nobody to steal your food here, okay? Nobody's taking your lunch money.
You don't know that.
That's true.
Okay? I live with a bunch of thieves.
Yeah, that's true. Our kids are thieves. Okay, so what are your feedbacks for corporate, sir?
Listen. This is one of those dishes that it's like I could sit there and I would probably feel so bad about myself after.
Yeah.
But I would just eat and
inhale it. I can see you doing that.
And be like, this is
like
so...
Like if you were watching TV and not really paying attention to how much you were eating, you would just sit there and shovel it in your mouth.
Right. I feel like it's extremely flavorful. It's funny that those meatballs taste different.
Really?
Like to me, they don't, like, I know we've air fried the meatballs and cooked them, but they literally taste different.
Well, because they simmer in like the beef broth for like 10 minutes. So it's like simmering in gravy basically for like 10 minutes. So I think it like Normally we eat those as Italian meatballs, and this time it's getting eaten with like gravy basically. So overall feedback, scale of 1 to 10 for corporate.
10.
A 10. Wow, that was a fast 10, bro.
That's a 10.
He didn't even think about it.
I mean, that's John approved.
Yeah.
That is 100,000%
John approved.
John approved.
I gotta try and make something crappy, man, because these people are gonna think you're lying about these scores.
But I'm not.
I feel like I recently made something that you gave like a 7. I don't remember. There was something that was a 7, people, so just let you know.
Listen.
He's not being paid to say these things. He's a volunteer basis, man.
I mean, I'm in it to win it.
What does that even mean?
I'm here forever.
Oh.
I'm in it to win.
You're stuck.
No, I'm in it to win
Stockholm
it.
syndrome.
No, like I'm committed.
You're committed to giving me a 10 score at all times.
To giving you honest feedback.
Oh, honest feedback. Okay, yeah. Corporate appreciates honest feedback. All right, well, thank you for your feedback, star. We're sending it to corporate. Hey, you friends, how are ya? We are in the kitchen right now. I brought my crock pot to show and tell because we are about to mix up a meatloaf. And I wanted to talk about it because I'm so pumped about this recipe, more pumped than I've been about a recipe in a very long time. My friend, Jessica O'Donoghue, is like the queen of Mississippi. That sounds weird because she's not even from Mississippi. She's from North Carolina. But she's the queen of Mississippi recipes, I should say. At least in my eyes, she is. There's probably someone out there that has deemed herself the queen of Mississippi stuff. But to me, Jessica O'Donoghue is the queen of Mississippi recipes. Let me rewind, okay? I'm so excited about this that I can't even focus. Mississippi recipes, what I'm talking about with this situation is there's a specific like Mississippi roast that a lot of people do. It's super easy to do. It's a crock pot friendly meal. One of my favorite things to do, you just toss a roast in the crock pot with au jus packet. I think you do ranch. I pulled this just to be safe, but I gotta verify. Banana peppers, those are key. Some of the banana pepper juice. Pretty sure you throw some butter in there, and then like whatever you want, carrots, green beans, potatoes, whatever. Well, Jessica O'Donoghue has taken it up a notch, and she does Mississippi recipes for a bunch of stuff. Like I've seen her do chicken before, all of this. Well, recently she made a Mississippi burger, you guys, okay? Now in this stage of life, I'm a crock pot queen, right? So I was trying to think like, okay, that sounds delicious, but we don't have a lot of time right now to just be like grilling up burgers. So I was like, how can I make this in the crock pot? And then I realized I could make a meatloaf. And the reason why I even had meatloaf on my mind is because I'm about to put a comment up on the screen here. Recently I did a Costco haul and Costco was out of ground beef. So we ended up having to buy ground bison. But somebody had commented that ground bison is way more flavorful than beef anyway and recommended making a meatloaf with it. So I had the inspiration for the Mississippi burger from Jessica O'Donoghue, and then one of you lovely people left me a recommendation to make a meatloaf. So whop bam, she put them together, and that's how this is gonna go down. I hope it's as good as I think it's gonna be because I'm hyping this up in my head so insanely. I'm also gonna be making a tray of roasted veggies. I have some like zucchini I wanna use up. I definitely wanna use some potatoes and then some carrots. So I was thinking I'll just do a sheet pan and I'm gonna do honey all over it and maybe a little bit of butter and then one of our favorite seasonings from Kinder's. It's called cowboy butter. So my hopes are high for this recipe. Let's hope they don't implode on me. At the end, we are gonna do a taste test with John. He is a meatloaf man. So if he gives us good feedback, you guys will know. But anyways, send some good vibes. I'm gonna jump into the crock pot now, or actually you guys are gonna jump into the crock pot now. We're gonna see this go down. We're gonna see if miracles can happen today. I'm just so jazzed about it. Let's go. As I mentioned, this is the one that I'm most excited for in this video. It's a crock pot recipe for Mississippi meatloaf. I first got to dicing up some onion and bell pepper. I love using a chopper for this because it just saves so much time, and this chopper will be linked in the description box. If you don't have one, I swear it makes such a difference in meal prep. After I got that done, in a mixing bowl, I whisked together some milk, egg, half a packet of au jus gravy mix, half a packet of ranch dressing, panko, and about 1/4 cup of juice from the banana pepper jar. I then added in ground bison, our seasonings, onion, bell pepper, diced garlic, diced banana pepper, and shredded white cheddar cheese. I mixed it all together until it was well combined and then placed it in a 7.5 quart crock pot and cooked it on low for about 3 to 4 hours. This would honestly work fine in a smaller crock pot. It'll just be a thicker meatloaf, so if you'd prefer a thicker meatloaf, you may want to go with a smaller crock pot anyway. While the meatloaf started in the hot tub, I took a mixing cup and stirred together the beef broth and then the remaining of both of the packets of au jus gravy and ranch dressing, and then I poured that all over the top of the meatloaf. 30 minutes before serving, I stirred together the cornstarch and the water to make a cornstarch slurry. I carefully incorporated that into the broth/gravy mixture inside the crock pot and allowed that to thicken before serving. We served this with a really easy roasted vegetable sheet pan. For that, I had diced up some small yellow potatoes, carrots, and zucchini. On the sheet pan, I started by laying down the potatoes and baby carrots. I tossed that in some melted butter and garlic. I seasoned with salt, pepper, and our favorite seasoning, which is the Kinder's Cowboy butter. I baked that for about 15 minutes, and then I added in the diced zucchini with a little bit more seasoning, and then baked for an additional 10 minutes, just because the zucchini cooks a lot faster, so it didn't need to be in there the whole time. And just double checked that the potatoes and carrots were fully fork tender. Before I served it, I ended up drizzling it with a little bit of honey. Let's go see what we thought about it on our taste test. Sirs, good day. We have probably one of my most anticipated recipes that I've made in a long time.
Seriously?
In a very long time. I don't think I've ever been so excited about something.
What? I would not have thought that for a beef dish.
Especially meatloaf. Like, when have I ever been, like, I don't even like meatloaf. But I'm, like, jazzed about this. I wish smell-o-vision existed.
Oh, yeah.
Because this house smells like heaven.
It's intoxicating.
Truly intoxicating is a good word. Truly amazing. We got some roasted veggies. We've got a Mississippi meatloaf. And I don't know if it's hot. You might want to.
Oh, am I? Okay.
Yeah, you're going first. Blow on it. That's what I meant.
Oh. I don't know if it's hot here.
Is it too hot?
No, not at all.
Okay. Okay, my turn. My turn. It's so messy, but I don't even care.
Yeah, 10 out of 10.
There's no other way to make a meatloaf. You are disrespecting meat if you make meatloaf any other way.
The flavor on that is ridiculous.
Have a potato.
The flavor on those potatoes are ridiculous. What? What did you do to that?
I just put butter, garlic, and honey.
You know, every time you do that, I feel like a 5-year-old.
No.
I mean, you call me
You have
out.
the maturity of a 5-year-old, so.
Wow.
Maybe 12 on a good day.
Okay.
Take another bite, John. Take another bite, John.
That's bananas.
It's got banana peppers. So it is truly bananas.
It's a like mushy.
Well, here's the thing. So I was like going on Pinterest because I've never done meatloaf in a crock pot before. Well, I've done ground turkey meatloafs in the crock pot, but ground turkey is a lot like firmer. Like it's drier.
Right.
So it forms a meatloaf. This is ground bison.
Bomb.
So good. But there was somebody who said to put it like in a foil packet inside the crock pot, and I was just simply too lazy to do it. So that's why mine is falling apart. If you want to actually look presentable and have your life together, put a foil little home. A gnome home.
This is a home.
This is a home.
This is a
Place
foil
your
home?
meatloaf inside a greased, spray it with some cooking spray, foil home, and then plop it in the crock pot, and then cook it that way.
The flavor is like explosion. It's so good.
That is like ultimate comfort meal. Ultimate.
So good.
If you got a meat and potato person in your life and you don't make that for them,
and if you've
they should cancel you.
Yeah.
As a friend and as a family member. They should cancel you.
For sure.
Scale of 1 to 10, John.
10 million.
You know what else I love about it? Whoa, I thought you were about to fall. I thought you like literally like tripped over nothing.
I tripped over your excitement.
I'm so excited. The banana peppers, I was nervous were gonna be too like spicy, but it just hits the tongue. Barely anything. John wasn't even affected.
I didn't even
Not
realize.
even affected.
I didn't even realize it was spicy.
It's just the flavor.
It is flavor, yeah.
Banana peppers in this recipe end up tasting almost like a salty, like pickly type vibe. Yeah. They're not too spicy, so don't be scared of those. I'd give it a 9.5. I'm docking myself half a point because I didn't have a home. So flavor wise, it's Flavor City, bro. Yes. It's Flavor City.
And I feel like if
moving into that zip code.
I'm in that zip code every day of my life.
That's true. You are.
Bless me.
I just want to throw this out there, though. If you're watching this video, right, we got what's for dinner, meal inspiration, trying to inspire you, and you're sitting there like, Kate goes above and beyond. We ordered pizza last night. So just know it is balanced here. Some nights we order pizza. Some nights it's frozen pizza. Some nights it's chicken nuggets going on a salad. Okay? Nobody does it all. So, but this is for inspiration so you can incorporate it into your life.
But we do make a lot of food.
We do make a lot of food because I enjoy cooking. That's the thing. I just would hate for people to feel like, because that's impressive. If you guys are watching this and you aren't impressed, I'm offended.
You know what?
You know, that is an impressive little dish.
I have to say, in the last year, I've really started to enjoy
food.
Cooking. Well,
you're enjoying it.
Cooking,
trying
involved,
new things,
eating different different foods that I would have never eaten in the past.
Right, you wouldn't have touched this.
The Flavor City.
It's a great place to live. I have
entered. It's a great place.
It's hot here, though. It's humid.
It is, but you know, I'm really disappointed. I'm really disappointed.
What?
That it took me 37 years
to get to that point.
To Flavor City.
You know, it's real disappointing because I've been with you for 20 of those 37 years. So I'm sad that you took the slow boat to Flavor City.
I'm here and I'm honking that horn. Get out of my way because I'm coming through.
This is taking a weird turn.
Yes.
As usual.
So I have one thought to say, though. If you've never had ground bison before,
buy it.
Get it. Because
it's pricey, though. It was $20 for 3 pounds. I want to make burgers with it.
Oh, yes.
We need to make burgers with it.
Yeah, we got to.
It's on a different level, you guys. And our Costco sells it, so check your Costco.
Yeah.
It was $20 for 3 pounds. It was 2 1.5 pound thingamabobbers. What are those called? Packages. Thank you. Words are hard. It's definitely got a different texture. I just want to warn you, it's a lot softer than a ground beef.
Yes.
So, like meatloaf, it's delicious, but it does fall apart a little bit, but I don't care. I take flavor over presentation.
Yep.
You know, so plus, again, I didn't do the thing. Yeah. So we're gonna send that feedback to corporate, and we're about to dive into our last what's for dinner recipe.
What's the last one?
The last one, John doesn't even know yet. We're gonna do Italian sloppy joes, John.
Oh!
Yeah.
Who's excited?
Sloppy Giuseppes, if you will. See you soon, guys. Our last recipe for today is Italian sloppy joes. These were really easy to throw together and made for such a fun dinner. Don't forget, all of the recipes are written out in the description box for you if you'd like to recreate any of these meals. In a medium skillet, I melted butter and added onion, bell pepper, and garlic. I sauteed this all until it was fragrant for about 2 to 3 minutes. I then added in Italian sausage and just cooked that until it was brown. Then I added in the remaining ingredients and reduced the heat to low-medium, stirring everything together. I allowed this to simmer together on the stove while I prepared the buns. For those, I preheated the oven to 375 degrees, and then in a little mixing cup, I stirred together some melted butter and minced garlic. I brushed this on the tops and bottoms of the buns that I had laid out on a baking sheet. I sprinkled them with Italian seasoning and Parmesan cheese, and I baked them in the oven for about 5 to 6 minutes, just until they were golden brown. I scooped the sloppy joe mixture right on top of those buns and served it. We also did a taste test on these, and I'm excited to share the results of that with you now.
Hey DJ, play that song.
You guys, the final recipe in this video won't be the final recipe for me, that's for sure. Italian sloppy joes, sloppy Giuseppes. I'm gonna try and make that a thing.
What? Sloppy Giuseppes?
Yeah, because I think that's Joseph in Italian. I'm pretty sure.
Is it? I don't know.
Could be something else. Could be Gertrude. Nobody knows. Okay, so we're gonna talk about a couple things though. I don't have mozzarella cheese currently. In the recipe, I'm going to include mozzarella cheese because I think it's disrespectful not to top.
I wish.
Yeah, John used up all the mozzarella cheese.
No, we have some in the freezer.
That's not going to help me right now, John. Okay, I don't want frozen mozzarella cheese. I just want mozzarella cheese.
Fail.
So anyways, put mozzarella cheese on this, you guys. You know what? If you want to take it to the next level, maybe you put a little burrata on this. Can you imagine? Anyways, sloppy Joe's Italian style.
You know what it is? It means no worries for the rest of your days. It wasn't adequate. That wasn't an adequate bite. Sorry, couldn't get all the flavor. We're going.
We have to talk to the people. John, what do you think of our final recipe in this video? Let the people know.
Listen, people. People, you need to listen. If you have any sloppy joes, like you want to make sloppy joes or your kids or whatever, make that sloppy joe.
That's a good sloppy joe.
That's my favorite sloppy joe. You know what would be better? Is if we had mozzarella cheese.
That would be better, John. Especially, you know the sliced mozzarella that they sell at Costco, like that good.
Like
that
the big round ones?
Yes, that would be so good.
Oh my gosh.
But like, I'm also the type of person, I put cheese on everything. I don't even think this necessarily needed cheese.
No, but if it had
I did put Parmesan cheese.
Oh, but yeah, if it had like, if you put that thing on there and then put the whole thing in and just let it just kind of.
Yeah. Why is it that every time we make something, we're always like, you know what would be better? Like, even if we're like, this is the best thing ever, we're like, do you know what would level this up?
Because we're all about leveling up here.
That's what we're about.
We're all about it. But, okay, so for sloppy joes, that's a 10,000 out of 10.
A 10,000 out of 10.
Yes, 100%.
That seems excessive.
It's not.
I'm also going to say this is the perfect weeknight meal because it's very easy to throw together and it's very, like, forgiving. Like, if you walk away from the sauce and stuff, it's just going to simmer longer. The only thing you have to pay attention to is baking the buns, but honestly that part is not even a necessity. If you're really in a rush, you could just throw this on regular buns, but I want it to be extra and do like a garlic butter bun, and I think it was worth it. I think it was worth it, but I think this took me less than 30 minutes altogether.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Super easy to throw together. Perfect weeknight meal.
If you're making sloppy joes not using Italian sausage,
oh yeah, you gotta use the Italian sausage though, guys. I'm not kidding. Like, I will normally be the type of person, like, just use what you have on hand if you have beef. And yeah, it would work with beef, but if you have Italian sausage, ground Italian sausage, that levels this up. It gives it so much more of like a dynamic flavor. And then also,
she went to go get visual aid.
A visual aid. This was used, I think, twice, if not 3 times in this video. This sofrito blend from Trader Joe's. Everybody talks about this and has for years, and I've had it in my spice cabinet, barely touching it forever, and I'm mad at myself. I'm mad at the past me because I've started using this on so many things. So if you see this at your Trader Joe's, pick it up. It adds such a fun, unique flavor to it. It's so good. So pick that up.
So good.
So good. That's how our son likes to say so good. Although I don't think he's said that in a while. Don't you hate when they like say things and it's so cute and it's like their thing and then all of a sudden one day it just ends and you're like, where did that go?
Where did it go?
It went to memory land.
Yeah.
And then moments like this brings it up like, oh, he used to say that all the time, but he doesn't anymore. Like, we would give him food and he'd be like, so good, with drama. Which is so weird because John and I are so low key. So for our child to be dramatic is really surprising.
So low key. I mean, we're just the most mellow people in the entire world.
Not dramatic at all.
There's zero drama in this household.
No. Anyways, all right, John, feedback for corporate. Scale of 1 to 10.
I already gave it a 10,000 out of 10.
Oh, that's right. Okay, it's
Come on, Kate.
I'm going to go with like a 9.
Why?
I don't know.
What's docking?
I honestly think if you put burrata on that,
cheese,
that would take it to a 10.
Cheese takes it
yeah,
to a 10.
see, my thing is like, I'm a cheese lover, okay?
Okay.
So I think if you put like a little bit of burrata on there before slapping that sloppy joe mix on there, that might take it to a 10. But I'm going to go with a 9. Plus, I'm the chef, so I always feel weird giving myself a 10. If I give myself a 10, you guys know that's one that you better add to the meal plan this week. But honestly, all of them I think you need to add to the meal plan.
Well, okay.
Did we make anything we didn't like this week?
No.
Like, seriously, everything was like a banger.
You're right. So we had the sloppy joes, the meatloaf, and the
meatball stroganoff, the beef enchiladas, and the garlic parmesan chicken.
That's all in this?
That's all in this. Like 5 must-make recipes.
Okay, so of those 5,
Which was my favorite?
rank them.
Rank them.
Rank 'em.
Oh,
1 through
we should
5.
do this in What's for Dinners. Yeah, look at us just coming up with stuff on the go. All right.
Rank 'em.
Number 1 for me might be a surprise to John. It's going to be the beef enchilada bake. That's number 1. I know.
What?
I know. But something about that, it's like
That's my number
it's
one,
like
too.
really, that's your number 1. That's like a comfort meal, and it was so easy to throw together. Very minimal on the ingredients.
Well, because I think it was also the bison.
Yeah, the ground bison is a hit. If you see ground bison at any of your grocery stores, consider
Worth
picking
the
that.
extra cost.
It is extra money, but number 2 for me is the garlic parmesan chicken. Garlic parmesan chicken. I don't know why that was hard. What's your number 2?
Sloppy Joe's.
Sloppy Joe's is your number 2.
Yep.
Okay, this is gonna get hard now. I think number 3 for me is the Mississippi meatloaf, which is also a shock because I'm not a meatloaf person. I'm barely a red meat person.
That's my number 3.
That's your number 3.
Yeah.
That one is like, I just feel like it's unique and so full of flavor.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me is gonna be the Sloppy Joe's. What's your number 4? So you have meatball stroganoff and the chicken left.
The meatball stroganoff.
Is your number 4.
Number 4.
So my number 5 is the meatball stroganoff. Garlic parm.
Number 5 is the meatball stroganoff?
It was good, but it was like, I'm not like, see, here's my thing. I'm an al dente pasta person. I like a bite to my pasta, and egg noodles are very, very,
Soft.
yeah. So like they borderline soggy to me, no matter what. Like no matter how you cook them, they always borderline soggy to me. So like I can't, I like al dente. So like that's literally the only reason, but I'm going to tell you right now, all 5 of these are like worth adding to your meal plan.
Oh, for sure.
I saw you making fun of me. Just to let you know, I saw that. I have mom eyes all over my head, so you didn't get away with that. I'm just not going to cuss you out in front of everybody, okay?
But you just did.
I didn't cuss you out. I just said I saw it.
You called me out.
Yeah, I called you out.
Okay.
But the scolding is going to come after the camera's off. All right, well, that's it. That's all the feedback. So 5 amazing recipes. Even though we ranked them, I think every single one of them is worth being on your menu. And none of them were complicated. Like I know in most of my videos, it's usually like I do like 4 really easy weeknight meals, and then I'll do like one that like is more of a labor of love. I didn't feel like any of these were a labor of love. I feel like they were all pretty fast to throw together. So overall, some meal inspiration for you. I hope you walk away with something that you want to make. Let us know what you made this week. I hope we delivered whatever you needed when you clicked on that thumbnail. If we did, reward us by sending this video to a friend that needs help coming up with a meal plan. That's your homework for this week. Send it to a friend. Because everybody needs some meal inspiration, and then everybody needs a little bit of John in their life, you know? So, all right, well, thank you so much for being here. Hope you have a magical day. Bye.